So we have some pretty huge Poppy Playtime news to talk about today, so huge in fact that it brought me out of my early YouTube retirement. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, but for now we have a pretty big story. This is from Mob Games. They are coming out with a new game. Now this isn't part of the main storyline, or at least it's not part of the chapter releases. We have chapter 3 coming out next year, and this game will be coming out in December. So over on the Mob Games official Twitter, we can see they posted this today. Can you see this? Give us a sign. We are thrilled to announce our next game, Project Playtime, is coming to Steam this December. Project Playtime is a free-to-play co-op horror experience where you and your friends must try to survive the unspeakable horrors that lay waiting deep within the Playtime Co factory. Now, this is going to be a brand new game. It's free to play, which means all you need is some friends, and luckily I have loads of friends. So I'm pretty excited. I'm always going to be happy for more gameplay, and with this one being free, maybe I can get a couple of friends together and we can play it, or maybe you can get a couple of your friends together, play it, and hopefully it's going to be a good game. Now, it's been in development for 6 months, which isn't really all that long, so I'm not expecting this game to be, you know, Dead by Daylight level of complexity or anything like that, but I do think that they're going to be putting in some of the lore and the story from the main game into this. I think that this is going to tie into the overall story, just like the ARG did with the main game as well. I think all of these things are going to come together to paint the entire picture. Now, we don't have any gameplay, we don't have any sort of footage or screenshots or anything like that. All we have is this one poster. Now, this poster has given me some opinions and theories already. I think I may have an idea of what the game is going to be, and also there is a little bit of hidden stuff to talk about in here as well, a little bit of mystery ARG kind of stuff too. So looking at this poster, we can see the main thing is all of these grab pack hands from the ceiling. Now, I do think this is basically just hinting that yes, this is going to be a co-op game, all of these different grab packs representing all of the different players, but I also do think that this is very reminiscent of chapter 2 of Poppy Playtime. If you remember, in chapter 2, we found out that the scientists were doing experiments on the orphans. Now, these experiments ranged from reasoning skills to reflexes, all these different experiments, but they all seem to have some sort of dark twist to them, especially if the person failed the experiment. Now, I do think that this game is going to be one of these experiments, but I think it's going to be, rather than just a mini game in chapter 2 or chapter 3, I think that this one is going to be its whole own game that is just another experiment within the factory. If we take a little bit of a look into the poster, especially if we brighten it up a little bit, there are a couple of things that we can maybe deduce. So we see the machine on the right says something machine deposit, I think, which I think is hinting that this game is going to be a bunch of people running around looking for things, looking for items, like a hidden object game, and you're going to grab those things and you're going to hand them into this machine. If you collect them all, maybe you can win, kind of like Dead by Daylight in a way. And I think the whole time you're going to be probably trying to avoid the bad guys, the Huggy Wuggy or Mommy Longlegs or whatever they're going to put in, I don't know. But either way, there's going to be some bad guys that we're going to have to try and avoid, and we're going to be going around looking for things. That's what I think the game is going to be anyway. Again, we have no idea until we get more information. We also can see on the left, I don't know what this is supposed to say. It looks like perfect or maybe player. I'm not entirely sure. But really, that's what I think this game is going to be. I think it's going to be a co-op collectathon. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows. Also in this poster, we have this star, which showed up in the latest Poppy Playtime update. I can't remember. We got a video or something. I can't remember. I didn't cover it. I did watch it. It was very interesting. But we have this star popping up again, which I don't know. Some people are saying this star could be some sort of Jack-in-the-Box kind of enemy, which would make sense with this being a toy factory, but who knows, honestly, at this point. The star could honestly mean anything. And then right above that star, we have some numbers, which probably are already saying that looks like an IP address. Now, I did a little bit of digging with this one. I went through and followed the IP address, which led me to some coordinates, and those coordinates led me to a graveyard in New Jersey. Now, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm misinterpreting this, but if you look at this graveyard, it is kind of interesting. Of course, a graveyard being very morbid and this game series being very morbid, but also I think there's a deeper connection here as well. So if you remember in Poppy Playtime chapter 2 right at the beginning, we had this video of Elliot Ludwig, and it explained that Elliot had a death in the family. Now, we don't know who that family member was. A lot of people, myself included, have speculated that it could be his daughter, and that daughter could be Poppy, but we don't know. We know that he had a death in the family, and if you remember, we can see this angel statue, which very, very common sort of sight that you would see in a cemetery or a graveyard. Now, this cemetery is actually in North Bergen, and the picture for this cemetery looks very, very similar to the one that we see in this video of Elliot Ludwig. Now, again, this could just be a complete coincidence. Maybe I got this wrong, but it is very interesting nonetheless. So I do think that this is setting up maybe another ARG. We know that Mob Games have already done an ARG for Poppy Playtime. It was kind of interesting. The CCTV fed into the main game. So maybe they're going to be doing an ARG for this game. And I do think, again, that this side game is going to feed into the main game and be part of the whole experience. I think the whole story is going to be told in multiple different ways, which is kind of cool. I like it. I like it a lot. On top of that, we also have this letter. Now, some people got physical copies of this letter. I got a digital one because I live in England and, you know, it's far away from America. It's fine. But this letter reads, "Hello, Mama. I miss you so much. It's been so long since we've talked, and now more than ever, I wish we'd spoken more. I have some news you won't like to hear. I'm going away for a very long time, and I may never see you again. I don't want to do this to you, and I know how badly this will break your heart, but I don't have a choice. Something awful has happened. I want to tell you about it, but I can't. They have eyes and ears everywhere. For your own safety, do not come looking for me. Stay away from the factory. They can't know what you know. If they get to you, everything I've done will have been for nothing. I need you to get on my computer. Use this, 159-223-1356. I had to bury everything. It might seem like it's not there, but it is. I know you can find it. Look deep. You're going to see things that scare you, but you have to look. There are lives at risk. People will die. As soon as possible, take everything you find and go to the police. This needs to end. I love you, and I hope you can forgive me." Now, there's a lot to unpack in this letter. This letter is kind of cryptic, and I do think that this number that led to the cemetery is probably going to be used in the game, or at least part somewhere else. Maybe if they do an ARG, maybe we're going to have to input this number somewhere else, because I do think there's going to be a little bit more to this number than just the cemetery. We'll see, but we don't know who this is. This person is talking to their mother, it looks like, which means I don't think this is an orphan, because again, orphan wouldn't have a mother, so you know, but I don't think it's an orphan. So I think it could be a staff member, which is very, very interesting. Now, this is in 1991. The timeline of Playtime Co. or Poppy Playtime is a little bit, we don't know. We don't really know when the main game is taking place. We presume it's modern day, but we don't actually know that. So who is this? I don't know. It could be absolutely anybody. Now, there is a little bit of subtext hidden in the background of this, which I'm not going to read through all of it, but you can see one name, which is Rowan Stoll, which might be significant. Now, this isn't the whole Jamie B. Honey name because the letters don't match, but Rowan Stoll could be a name that we need to look into later. But either way, I think that this letter is setting up this game and the ARG that's going to be set up around it, in my opinion. And I think it's very, very interesting to see that Mob Games are really leaning into the lore and the mystery of the game, even outside of the main game. And it does seem like you're going to have to, I don't know, watch some YouTubers or something to get the full picture, because otherwise you can't just get the full story from the main game now. You have to kind of go to all these side sources, which I love as a creator, but as a viewer or as a player, yeah, it's kind of complicated. It's getting a little bit complicated now, but you know, we're here for you, don't worry. But yeah, I don't really want to go too deep into the speculation yet because we don't really have all that much information. And honestly, I'm super tired. I don't know if you can tell, but this is just my opinions on the new game coming out. And I will be playing it in December. I will be covering it on this channel, of course. Speaking of this channel, we've been a little bit quiet lately. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the reasons why. I'm going to save that for another video, maybe. I just want to clear up that I'm not quitting. This channel isn't done. Like, I'm still making content on this channel. I'm just kind of burnt out at the moment. And to remedy that, I have been doing a little bit more Twitch streaming. Now, I know I started YouTube streaming, but I'm back on Twitch again. I'll save that for a different video because I could ramble all day about that and I don't want to. But yeah, if you want to check out my Twitch streams, I'll leave a link in the description below. I stream when I want. There's no schedule. I stream when I feel like it, if I feel like it. And I've been doing quite a lot of that lately. And also, I started another channel. Yes, I know, another channel, but this channel is for things like highlights of my Twitch streams, you know, certain topics of discussion that come up that I find interesting. I will be doing some discussion videos on there and also maybe some gameplay, but there's going to be no theory content on there. This channel is purely just for fun, so please only subscribe if you want that kind of content, because if you don't want that kind of content and you subscribe, I don't really want people to subscribe who then don't watch the content, if that makes sense. So I'll leave a link to that one in the description below as well, but again, that channel is just purely for fun, okay? So don't expect like the best edited videos or anything like that. It's just something that I'm doing as a fun project that I can hopefully get back into the rhythm of creating again. Also, new camera. So yeah, I will be getting back to this channel. I don't want to complain too much, but I was getting a little bit burnt out on the main channel. So we will be back, and there's so much to talk about right now, so don't worry. I'll be back. Okay, thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.